So I'm going to break down my analysis of this study into three parts. And these three separate series, I want to make it just into short segments so it's more bite-sized. Part one is kind of the overview. I'm going to go over the bottom line. I'm going to go over why this study matters to you if you have insomnia, who took part in this insomnia, who qualified for this, like how do they select the people, and how was the study conducted? This is super important because if it's not conducted in a correct way, this information may not apply to you, right? So I'm going to go through all of that information. Let's dive in. Insomnia. Did you know there is a natural treatment, natural therapy that is just as effective as medication in treating insomnia? Not reversing insomnia, but treating insomnia, at least according to clinical research that was done in 2025. So that's what I'm going to go over today. I personally, obviously, I'm biased because I am a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, and I am also in favor of natural medicine always because it's God-given, it's God-made. But I believe, and we've seen this in our clinical practice too, that natural medicine is far superior than Western medicine because most patients don't want to be taking a pill to sleep for the rest of their lives. Wouldn't you agree? That's probably why you're watching this video, right? If you're okay with taking a pill in order to sleep for the rest of your life, then this video is not for you. But if you are someone who is tired of taking a pill, whether it's a over-the-counter, a prescription sleep aid, or even a supplement, supplements are not all natural. You're just tired of taking a pill, being dependent upon a pill in order to sleep. And that sleep is not even great quality sleep. Is it better quality? Yes, but it's not 100% better. You know what I'm talking about if you've suffered with insomnia. But let's dive into the research. So this study is called the Clinical Study of Combining TCM, Traditional Chinese Medicine, with Acupuncture for Treating Insomnia, accompanied by anxiety. So this was done in January of 2025. It's in the brain and behavior. You can find this on PubMed. I created an overview in my analysis. So let's jump into my analysis. So what I like to do is to translate it, research into a layman terminology, right? Because a lot of the research, they use a lot of technical terms, a lot of medical terms, scientific terms, and most people can't understand everything that's written. It's done for a purpose, but it's hard. It's hard for you and me, if it's a layperson, to really understand what is the research. So one of my skills is that my ability to break down complex ideas, complex sentences, and make it very simple to understand. So I like to call this research translated Jimmy Acu Sensei style. So this was a 120 person clinical study. So bottom line, this study, it was 120 people. They were broken into three groups. They were observed for 4 weeks. First group of people received acupuncture plus Chinese herbs, TCM herbs. The second group received just the TCM herbs. And the third group just received medication, eszopiclone, right? I'm butchering that name. I apologize. But it's a generic version of Lunesta. You've probably heard of that. So really briefly, what were the results? So remember, 120 people split into three groups. So that's 40 people per group. The first group, acupuncture and herbs, they received the largest improvement, 46% improvement. You're probably wondering, what herbs did they use, right? I'm going to give it to you right now. Chai Hu Shu Gan San. That's traditional formula. That's every person received the same formula. They received it twice daily, plus acupuncture 5 days per week for 4 weeks. The herbs alone, they just received that formula, Chai Hu Shu Gan San. They saw a 33% improvement, and the people who took Lunesta saw a 32% improvement. They got 3 milligrams at bedtime daily for 4 weeks. So the medication produced the least amount of improvement. Now, here's people, naysayers are going to tell you this. They're going to say, oh, this improvement is not really drastically different. It's not statistically relevant. But those people, they're not helping you sleep better. They're just looking at research. When I look at research, I'm looking at what is it going to do? How is it going to help you, the public, get better? How is it going to help your body heal itself? These medications, they don't help your body heal itself. So naysayers are always going to pick out negative things. And whatever negative thing they talk about this research, I can point out the exact negative thing about their research. So that's why I don't like to debate research. What I like to look at is what actually works in real life, not in a test tube, but in real life. So the scale they use is subjective. There was no objective testing. So Can these results be manipulated? Absolutely. Every single research can be manipulated. I don't care if you talk about the Western medicine double-blinded random control trials, they are all manipulated. I won't get into that, but just know that they are all manipulated depending on who pays for it. Next, so PSQI is a questionnaire that the 120 people, they fill out, and it's subjective. It's how they feel, how they're able to function. So could it be wrong? Absolutely. Why does this research matter to you? Well, the results suggest that some people whose insomnia occurs with anxiety may benefit from a structured acupuncture and herbal approach. This is just one study that proves that acupuncture and herbs, if it's not better than medication in these 4 weeks, is just the same, but without all the side effects. There's so many side effects with Lunesta. If you've taken Lunesta for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. There's minimal to no side effects if it's done correctly with acupuncture and herbs. Now, let me give you a caveat. This formula is not the formula that everybody with insomnia would be using. It was specific. So down here, it talks about specific population. The findings apply mostly directly to Chinese adults with chronic insomnia, mild to moderate anxiety, no major depression, and a TCM-defined qi stagnation pattern. There are many causes of insomnia according to TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. This specific formula that they use, Chai Hu Shu Gan San, was only focused on the liver qi stagnation. You really don't need to know what that means. All you need to know is that it is a liver dysfunction. Your liver helps regulate your sleep. It's one of many organs. But when the liver dysfunction, this is one of the formulas that they can use to help you restore your liver function. This herbal formula is not actually traditionally used for insomnia. What is it used for? It's used to restore your liver function. You see the difference of medication and Chinese medicine? Medication is focused purely on knocking you out. Oh, you can't sleep? Let's just knock you out. Okay, if we can't use a brick to knock you out, let's use a chemical to knock you out. Whereas Chinese medicine, we look at what is the root cause. A little slightly different is Jimmy Acu Sensei style. I look at, okay, the root cause is an organ dysfunction. Which organs are dysfunctioning? And those are the ones I need to restore their function. So Chai Hu Shu Gan San, the formula they use, is just one of many herbal formulas that can be used to restore the liver function and therefore help insomnia. But I wanted you to understand that point. The formula was not a insomnia formula, herbal formula, so to speak, because if you want a real that's labeled as insomnia is 酸枣仁汤. That is a insomnia formula. Chai Hu Shu Gan San is not. Chai Hu Shu Gan San is a liver restoration formula. That is not one of the common formulas that we use in my clinic. The herbs that are in there, we commonly use, but we just use it in different formulas that work even better. But even this generic herbal formula, and when I say generic, is what every acupuncturist in the world is taught. You have qi stagnation, you can use this formula. The way we practice in my clinic with my team, we use a different system. We have found is more effective. Number 3, it's not a universal answer. This study does not establish that acupuncture and herbs should replace a complete clinical evaluation or every other treatment. I need to say this because otherwise the Western Medicine Medical Association will shut me down because they control everything. They control medicine in the US. So I have to say that. So you have to always go to your physician, even though they know nothing about Chinese herbs and acupuncture. I am legally required to tell you everything that I'm presenting in this video is educational only. It's not medical advice. Before you try anything, you need to talk with your physician, even though they don't know what any of this is about. Number 4, promising, not definitive. The trial was small, short, unblinded, and primarily based on participant questionnaires. So here's the thing about you'll learn about me. Just because I'm a TCM practitioner, I'm not going to say TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, is the bomb. It's the cure-all for everything. There's no weakness in it. There's a weakness in every single medicine. And this is talking about the research, right? And I've already mentioned the research. No research is 100% unbiased. No research is 100% not manipulated. In Western medicine, when Big Pharma does drug studies, do you know how they manipulate it? They manipulate it from the beginning. They choose healthy individuals to enter the trial. They choose individuals that will be able to tolerate the side effects of their medication. They won't choose sick people. Say they're testing Lunesta, they're not going to choose patients that don't tolerate medication because it's going to give them negative data and it's going to prove that their medication is harmful. It's just like, when they select jury. Have you ever been to jury duty? When you go to jury duty, the lawyers are trying to pick the ones that's going to help them win the case. It's not about finding the truth. It's about winning the case. That is how they pick participants in big pharma studies. That's a whole nother story. Now, who took part? 120 people, right? Divided into 3 groups. You can see these are the 3 groups, and you can see the average age. So the average age of the patients that were in the first group were actually older, 45 years old, compared to the Lunesta, the medication group. This is just in general. The older we are, the less we can tolerate side effects from medications. These people had an insomnia duration of 15.7 months. So they've been struggling with insomnia for over a year. The herb group, it's a year and 5 months. And the medication group, it was a year and 3 months as well. And this tells you how many men and women were in the group. Now, common conditions. What other conditions did these participants have? 4 of them had high blood pressure, diabetes, chronic pain. It listed it all out. Now, who qualified? This is the sorting process. This is the sorting process I was talking about with Big Pharma, what they do. So who was included? You had to be between the age 18 and 65. You have to have insomnia at least 3 nights per week, and your symptoms lasting at least 3 months. Your PSQI score of 7 or higher. Remember, the PSQI is a questionnaire that you fill out and then they give you a score. The lower the number is, the better the sleep. Higher the number, like 7, is not good. And also you have mild to moderate anxiety, no significant depression. You cannot have depression. You see, even in this one, they made sure that the research wasn't complicated by depression, because people who are depressive tend to want to sleep a lot. And if you wanted to be in this study, you could not take a sedative or anti-anxiety medication in the prior 3 months. Now, who was excluded? People who had severe depression or anxiety, schizophrenia, or other major psychiatric illness, major heart, liver, or kidney disease, pregnancy or breastfeeding, insomnia attributed to another illness or psychiatric medicine, or you're unable to complete the treatment or assessments. So you see, even here, there's jury selection. This is what I'm saying. This study is not perfect. So for those of y'all who are saying, I only do evidence-based medicine, I only do evidence-based treatment. Well, evidence-based treatment is still manipulated. If you didn't know, every clinical study is manipulated. Even this one is manipulated. So I'm not saying don't look at clinical study. I love clinical study. I'm a biochemist, right? Before I became a TCM practitioner, I got my degree in biochemistry. I love clinical studies. I love research. But you have to understand, you cannot treat research as the Bible. It is not 100% the truth. None of it is. So then you're like, well, what do I believe in? Well, personally for me, I'll tell you, I believe in real life clinical studies or real life research. What does that mean? Go to somebody's home and observe how they live. Find the people, for me, centenarians, people who live over 100, who have a better quality of life than you. Go and see what they do, how they eat, how they live their life. I value that information more than research that's done in a lab. Coming back to this, how the study was conducted. They were only treated for 4 weeks. The anxiety followed up to week 8. They were assigned a sequence, not a clearly random blind. This was not a double-blinded study. So again, there's flaws to this. Okay, so the first group, what did they get? They got 56 herbal doses. So that means they took the herbs twice a day, morning, evening, for 28 days. The treatment period was 28 days, and they got a treatment every single day. So in 1 month, they got a treatment every single day. So that's 20 acupuncture sessions. The herb-only group, no acupuncture. They got 56 herbal doses. The medication group, they got 28 bedtime doses. Week 4, sleep outcomes. Week 8, anxiety follow-up. But what exactly did they use, and how effective was it? In part 2, we'll break down the herbal formula, the sleep and anxiety results, how the 3 treatment groups compared, and the flaws in the study you need to know. Stay tuned for part 2 to see what the research actually found.